Hey guys, welcome back to this Just Survive live mic segment. Yes, it's been quite some time since we've done an actual live mic, so if you hear some ambient noise in the background and whatnot, it is because I am doing this unscripted and just talking to you guys, the fans, directly. That would be the fans of Just Survive as well as subscribers and viewers here on the channel. I want to thank all of you because for the last few days, if not the last week, you guys have been reaching out to me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Minds, on Steemit, on DTube. I'm so amazed and impressed that you guys are reaching out to alternative media to get additional information and news, particularly those of you in the EU, where Article 11 and 13 are now going to be pretty much kind of in effect. It is coming, apparently. And if you are a creator of any kind in Europe or the UK, then I empathize with you greatly. Okay, guys, with that all aside, I do want to thank all of your guys' participation here on the channel. The views, the interactivity, the shares have been crazy, crazy activity. And I know that for most of you guys, you have been very patient, you have been very kind, you have been very eloquent at my postings of Civilization 6, which I love that game, guys. I'm sorry. I like the game, so I cover it, and it's because I like the game. All right, so, and of course, Friday Vlogs. But as far as the actual news of Just Survive, guys, I want to thank all of you who reach out to me, and this happens every single day. You guys reach out to me. You guys give me tidbits, information, links to Reddit, links to articles, links to fan sites and things like that. And unfortunately, at this time, it has been the quietest. It has been the quietest of the quietest these last few days, and I've been looking in on it. Now, we learned that from Season 3, there really wasn't any announcements or information concerning Just Survive, and that's because when the bigwigs, the moneymakers, the movers and shakers in the industry, when they're negotiating and discussing things, they aren't accustomed to talking directly to the fans. And that can kind of seem like a bit of a disconnect for some people when these individuals don't really make their actions and moves apparent. And a lot of that is just because it's business. It's you know, it's the stuffed shirt type activity that goes on in the background with this type of industry. When it comes to the money, when it comes to the legal aspects of it, when it comes to the decision making, it is the bigwigs in the background. And of course, then it is passed down to the developers, community managers, and so forth like that, who then release the information in digestible amounts that we can understand. Because a lot of times what happens is these companies are looking at metrics, they're looking at analysis, they're looking at projections, they're looking at telemetry, they're looking at all the numbers that really aren't very important to us as gamers. They're looking at it as, okay, if we make this investment in this product, what is the outcome? You know, what do we get back in return? And that's just business. That's just the way the business world works. That's the way the business world has always worked and will continue to work that way. So for right now, you know, the developers are probably kind of like maybe like me as a content creator or other content creators, and that is that we really don't know anything as of right now. I know a lot of you guys have been ticking down the marks and adding up all the time frames and timestamps and information that we do have. And that is, for example, when Chase Hall came out in October, where he said, well, in 6 months, you know, we might have this, that, or the other. There was nothing definitive. There was nothing concrete. And so I know a lot of you guys have been counting the months down, and April, as of today, April Fool's Day. And no, I did not want to make some cruel and unusual video to prank you guys on this day, but I did want to make this live mic because I know there's a tremendous amount of interest in the game. There's a lot of you guys out there that are chomping at the bit to play Just Survive again. We don't know, for example, things like, will it be a revert? Okay, will it be Badwater Canyon? Will they just turn both servers back on and let the player community decide, but a limited amount of servers? Now, a few things that I have been thinking about and cogitating on. Now, I have no evidence or information to back up this, but I would assume that I know that, for example, being a fan of SOE from the original days all the way back to Vanguard when EverQuest Next came out, this group of individuals, or the mindset within these groups of individuals, it's very, I guess the best way to describe it is very business-like, very orderly, and so we can't really anticipate a lot of like rental server things. Like we can't really see a lot of rental servers. When I saw white servers for H1Z1 Battle Royale, or even the game, or not white servers for Battle Royale, but white servers for Just Survive and or H1Z1 at the time, I was blown away that they actually would do that. Now, it's not unusual for them to do it. They did it back in EverQuest many, many years ago. But, I mean, to be part of that channel, you actually, I think it was like $100. I think it was like $100 a month. I mean, it was just, it wasn't $100 a month, but it was like, oh gosh, it was easily something like $35 a month to be on this white listed server to play EQ on an independent paid server. So I don't know if NantG will have a little more flexibility in what they want to do for the community. Will they have rental servers? Hard to say. But I know that, for example, Variant, SOE, Daybreak, they're very, very, very protective of their IP. They're very protective of their content. They have a lot of legalese, a lot of legal elements and components to how they protect their games. And so this kind of long period of time is probably them working out all these niche details about what servers will be used, what kind of servers are we having here, where will the servers be located, and staffing and things like that. So I would like to think that maybe NantG will bring back some of the developers that were on H1Z1. Now, we know like people like Adam Clegg, for example, that have been around since day one of H1Z1. Now, Adam, of course, comes from PlanetSide 2, but nonetheless, they pulled team members from other games within the then SOE and Daybreak community to work on H1Z1. And I can remember all that unfolding and think to myself, well, I'm heavily invested in Landmark. I really want to build a channel on EverQuest next. What's my direction? What do I want to do with H1Z1 that I keep hearing about? I keep hearing about that. Not only that, but John Smedley at the time during the last SOE live function, the conventions that they had there in Vegas, he was talking about a World War II game that could have been potentially coming out. And nothing really manifested from that at all. We never heard from it again. We also had heard that Daybreak, or SOE and then Daybreak at the time, was working on an unnamed game. Now, I don't know if that's because they were working with a third party, like, Nantworks or something like that. But as far as we know, of course, Nantworks or NantG, they just have partial rights to some of the content, for example, to make the mobile phone app things for EverQuest and whatnot. So there are certain limitations. There are certain things that they are working on and working through. But another thing could be, like with you guys here on the channel, you guys participating here on this content, the development team and those may be looking at these types of metrics, like, what is the interest? Well, let's look on YouTube, or let's look on Google, or a cursory search. They're not, they've got their own metrics and analysis and, all that business stuff in the background that they can use to, to work on their, to get the telemetry and things that they want for their business. But nonetheless, your guys' participation here in these videos, sharing, liking, and just participating in general in the community is a reflection of, where they may want to move forward with the game. So your guys' continued participation here on the channel, participation on Reddit, the amazing participation you guys have on alternate media, because, I mean, I was really surprised to hear from people on DTube, from people on Minds. I mean, it was just amazing to think that there are just so many people out there interested in Just Survive. That is awesome. But nonetheless, guys, this was just a bit of a kind of a no news update kind of thing, because we're really just the guys, there's just nothing here right now. But I understand, you guys we're wanting something out of the community and whatnot. But certainly wanted to reach out to you guys and let you know, yes, I know you guys are anticipating it. I'm anticipating it as well. You guys continue to support the channel. I appreciate and value that, of course, because you guys make all this possible and make videos like this possible too. because I'm using old stock and things like that to be able to give you guys just kind of a look back at some of the gameplay and things that we've had or experienced throughout our days in the alpha. But nonetheless, guys, I want to thank all of you, and you can, of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already to get this additional news, go ahead and click on that icon appearing right there on the screen. That would be the channel icon to subscribe, along with clicking that notification bell so you guys will know when there is additional content here on the channel. Now, keep in mind, if you do click that notification, you will know when other content is here on the channel, so keep that in mind. But you guys can always come here to the channel to get your Just Survive news, and I will see you guys hopefully soon with some Just Survive update news.